the final aircraft in this little combine, the very Swordfish one. And then still active in anti-shipping efforts in Norway as late as January 1945. In comes the final action's Wildcat. This Swordfish has had invasion stripes applied to it by the Navy Wing's Heritage Flight this year to commemorate the role of the Fleet Air Arm on D-Day in 1944, operations in which Swordfish themselves were used, laying smoke screens to protect channel convoys and flying anti-E-boat and U-boat patrols. It's been wonderful to see this aircraft performing so regularly and so well on the circuit this year in the hands of Navy Wings, and the crew today for a lovely display headed by Mark Jameson. Now one of the most charismatic of all naval fighters of World War II, the Wildcat, and an aircraft type that holds an interesting distinction in the Battle of Britain, given that that's what we're commemorating with this show, because this was the only American aircraft to serve officially on the front line with British forces during the battle in 1940. At that stage, the Wildcat was known to the Fleet Air Arm of the Royal Navy as the Martlet, and 804 Squadron was based in the Orkney Islands with Gladiators when in October 1940, just a few weeks before the end of the Battle of Britain, they took delivery of these stubby little American carrier-borne fighters. Flying from the Royal Navy's escort carriers. The design went on being developed throughout the war, and this is really one of the ultimate variants, the FM2, built by the Eastern Aircraft Division of General Motors, quite a bit more powerful than the variants that had gone before, and it continued the Wildcat's success later in the war as American forces advanced through the Pacific. This aircraft was conceived when the Fleet Air Arm needed a more capable carrier-borne fighter to replace the rather outmoded Fairey Flycatcher. Hawker came up with a private venture aeroplane which has sometimes been called the Norn, or the Sea Hornet, later became the Nimrod. Its origins were in the land-based Hawker Fury biplane fighter for the RAF, but really it was a very different machine with greater span wings, and of course it had to have flotation boxes installed in the wings and fuselage. Just 92 of them went on to be built. 42 of those were Mark 1s like this. Mediterranean in the wake of the invasion by Mussolini's Italy of what was then Abyssinia.